Welcome back to Grammar Grade 12. I'm glad you're here. This is Unit 7, Lesson 55, and today we take on an error that hides in plain sight, a shift in person. You already know that a pronoun has to agree with its antecedent in number and in gender. There's a third kind of agreement that's just as important and far easier to overlook, agreement in person. When a sentence starts out talking about someone in the third person and then suddenly switches to you, something quietly breaks. By the end of this lesson, you'll spot that shift instantly and fix it 2 different ways. Let's dig in. Before we dig in, here's the whole lesson in one breath. Every pronoun carries a person. It points either to the one speaking, the one spoken to, or the one spoken about. Those are first, second, and third person. And here's where writers stumble. Partway through a sentence, they shift from one person to another without meaning to. Most often, they slide into you when they should have stayed in the third person. That's called an illogical shift in person, and it quietly muddies otherwise good writing. The cure is the same every time. Pick one person for your antecedent and its pronoun, and stay consistent all the way through. Every pronoun has a person, a point of view, and it has to match its antecedents. There are just 3. First person is the speaker, the one doing the talking. I, me, my, and in the plural, we, us, our. Second person is the one being spoken to, the listener, you and your. And third person is whoever or whatever is being spoken about. He, she, it, they, and the pronoun one. Here's the part people forget. Every ordinary noun is third person too. A driver, the students, my sister, the committee, all third person. So the rule is simple to state. A pronoun must agree with its antecedent in person, just as it agrees in number and gender. So what exactly goes wrong? The trouble starts with a third person antecedent, a noun like a swimmer, a student, a citizen. A third person antecedent needs a third person pronoun to match it. But listen to how easily we slip. If a swimmer trains daily, you improve fast. The antecedent, a swimmer, is third person, yet the pronoun you is second person. They don't match, and that mismatch is the mistake. It usually happens because you feels friendly and general in casual speech. In careful writing, though, that unplanned jump to you is exactly the shift we have to catch and repair. Now, let's watch the mistake happen in slow motion, and then fix it 2 ways. Here's the sentence. When a driver is tired, you should pull over. Feel the problem? The antecedent is a driver. That's third person, someone we're talking about. But then the sentence slides into you, which is second person, the person we're talking to. That's the illogical shift, and it's the single most common version of this error. There are 2 clean ways to fix it. Fix 1. Keep everything in the third person. When a driver is tired, he or she should pull over. Fix 2. Make both parts plural. When drivers are tired, they should pull over. Either fix works. What you can't do is start in one person and drift into another. Pick a person and stay in it. One more shift deserves its own spotlight because it sounds so natural that almost everyone makes it. The jump from one to you. The pronoun one is third person, a formal way of saying a person in general. So once you start a sentence with one, you have to keep going with one. Listen to the mistake. One should mind your manners. It starts in the third person with one, then lurches into second person with your. The fix keeps it consistent. One should mind one's manners. If all those ones sound stiff to your ear, there's an easy escape. Just switch to a plural. People should mind their manners. What you must not do is drift from one to you in the middle of the thought. And it isn't only third to you shifts. Any unplanned jump between persons breaks the chain. Watch a plural third person slide. The runners rested because you were tired. The antecedent is the runners, third person plural, so the pronoun has to be they. The runners rested because they were tired. Now a first person slip. I love camping when you can see the stars. If the speaker is I, keep it in the first person. I love camping when I can see the stars. In every case, the move is identical. Find the antecedent, name its person, and match the pronoun straight back to it. Let's turn all of this into a quick check you can run on any sentence. Step 1. Find the antecedent, the word the pronoun stands for. Step 2. Name its person. Is it first person, like I or we? Second person, you? Or third person, which includes he, she, it, they, one, and every noun. Step 3. Make the pronoun match that same person. And step 4, the one that catches the most errors. Never let the sentence drift into you by accident when the antecedent is third person. Run those 4 steps and the illogical shift has nowhere to hide. Let's practice. In this first set, I'll show you a sentence with a pronoun choice. Pick the pronoun that agrees in person with its antecedent. Watch out for that tempting slide into you. Pause the video and choose before I reveal each answer. When a nurse finishes a long shift, blank deserves a real rest. He or she or you. The antecedent is a nurse, and that's third person. To agree, the pronoun has to stay third person as well. So we choose he or she. When a nurse finishes a long shift, he or she deserves a real rest. If one hopes to succeed, blank must be willing to work. You or one. The sentence starts with the pronoun one, which is third person. Once you begin with one, you have to stay with one. So the answer is one. If one hopes to succeed, one must be willing to work. The astronauts trained for years because blank dreamed of space. They or you. The antecedent is the astronauts, third person and plural. The pronoun has to match, so it can't be you. It's they. The astronauts trained for years because they dreamed of space. In this second set, some sentences have already slipped into the wrong person. Choose the corrected version. Either keep it in the third person or make both parts plural. Same method. Find the antecedent, then match. Pause and commit before I explain. Fix this one. When a gardener plants in spring, you enjoy blooms all summer. The antecedent, a gardener, is third person, but the sentence jumps to you. Keep it consistent in the third person. When a gardener plants in spring, he or she enjoys blooms all summer. Notice the verb becomes enjoys to match. That's the correct version. Which sentence is correct? Each begins with one, which is third person, so it must continue with one. The first option shifts to you. Wrong. The third shifts to they, and even breaks the verb. They develops. Wrong twice. The correct one keeps it consistent. If one reads widely, one develops a sharper mind. Choose the pronoun. The volunteers felt proud because blank had made a difference. You or they. The antecedent is the volunteers, third person and plural. To agree in person, the pronoun must be they, never you. The volunteers felt proud because they had made a difference. Let's gather what we've learned. First, a pronoun has to agree with its antecedent in person. First person is the speaker, I and we. Second person is the listener, you. And third person is whoever is being spoken about, he, she, it, they, the pronoun one, and every noun in the language. Second, the most common mistake is an illogical shift, usually sliding into you when the antecedent is really third person. And remember not to drift from one to you either. And third, you can repair any shift two ways. Keep the whole sentence in the third person, like he or she, or make both parts plural with they. The single thread through all of it is consistency. Pick a person and stay in it from start to finish. Next time, in Lesson 56, we'll look at agreement with indefinite pronoun antecedents, words like everyone, each, and several, and the pronouns that go with them. I'll see you there.